I'll start. Just because the sauce is good doesn't mean the food is good too. I see too many food chains try to mask the actual taste by making a sauce that overpowers everything. Popeyes is a good example of a good balance, and Zaxby's is an example of trying to make the sauce better than the food. Story 1. Fries come with the burger. None of this separating the two out nonsense. Give me the burger and fries together and price it accordingly. Let people say no fries. Story 2. Burgers need to be wider, not taller. They should also have an adequate amount of toppings that account for at least 35% of the entire sandwich. If your burger is nothing more than a meat tower that cannot even be held and eaten without unhinging your jaw, then it has completely failed as a burger. Story 3. American culture adapting other cultures' foods and creating their own versions is actually perfectly fine. Real Mexican food and American Mexican food both have their place. Edit. I really didn't think I'd have to clarify this, but obviously, calling it bastardizing is sarcastic. Story 4. There is a threshold with bacon on sandwiches, burgers, and tacos that, when crossed, makes it taste like a salty fat bomb and wipes out any other flavors. And that threshold is like 1 to 2 full pieces of bacon at most. Story 5. If you are served steak, barbecue, or some other meat, do not immediately coat it in sauce. Taste just the meat first, then go wild on the sauce if you still want to. It is a little thing to appreciate the preparation of the meat and better gauge how much sauce you want on it. Story 6. As a Chicagoan, deep dish is simultaneously the best pizza and not real pizza. It falls under the umbrella of pizza, but comparing it to other types of pizza is like comparing apples to oranges. They may as well be entirely different dishes. That said, deep dish is absolutely amazing. Story 7. Adding cream and/or sugar to coffee is perfectly acceptable. Saying it covers up the flavor of the coffee is like saying cheese covers up the flavor of a hamburger. Also, pre-cooking the pasta for lasagna is a completely unnecessary extra step, and oven-ready pasta is a completely unnecessary extra expense. Story 8. Pineapple on pizza is delicious, but I don't put it on every pizza. It's got to go on a pizza that's topped with very savory, meaty toppings and ideally with a sauce that might be more savory or salty rather than bright and acidic. The contrast in sweet, juicy pineapple with good sausage, pepperoni, and ham really tickles my fancy. You should try it at least once in your life from a decent pizza place. I made my own at home and fell in love. So many people just joke about this kind of pizza because it's different, but it makes sense. Story 9. I hate elevated comfort food. Don't make it fancy or a piece of art. Let it be what it's supposed to be. Reminds me of that Bobby Flay challenge show where he'd go around and make regional foods like wings or cheesesteaks elevated. Always got ripped apart. Where's the cheese whiz? Is that cheddar? What is this, brisket? Dude, you made a steak sandwich, this isn't a cheesesteak. Story 10. 2 pickle slices stacked on top of each other in the center of a burger patty are not enough pickles. When I ask for extra pickles, I want more than one singular extra slice of pickle. You would think pickles are made of gold the way most places refuse to give you more of them. I want a bit of it in every bite. I am not on a mission to find the one bite in the burger that has both pickles in it. Story 11. I do not like fancy high dining with all the food that triples the price due to extra steps. I don't like tableside service. Just bring my food ready to go. Also, I don't want food I have to put together myself. Again, bring my food ready. Story 12. I've had barbecue all over the country and eaten at famous places and shacks, as well as expensive sit-down places that have been there for 100 years, and it's all pretty much the same level of fine. You're really just splitting hairs over sauce recipes, philosophy, and side dishes. The food itself is kind of boring and basic, and I'd never choose it myself if I wasn't being taken there for work. Story 13. Do not substitute poor ingredients to save money. I used to eat at Chili's, and one of their health-focused chicken dishes was phenomenal. A baked and sautéed chicken breast topped with cheese and pico de gallo on a plate surrounded by Mexican rice, black beans, and tortilla strips. Well, Chili's decided to change its ingredients and how it was cooked. They changed to black beans that were just watery, substituted the Mexican rice with cilantro rice, and changed how they cooked the chicken. The flavor profile was completely ruined. I tried one or two other dishes I would eat regularly, and they also got ruined. I haven't been to a Chili's in about 7 years and have no desire to go back. Story 14. If I ask for no onions, it means any form of onion. I don't like them raw, I don't like them grilled, I don't like them sautéed, I don't like them breaded and deep fried. I don't like them with a different name like chive or shallot. No onions literally means don't even look at them when preparing my food. Story 15. Agree on sauce. When people say they like McRib, I say no, you just like sugar. The barbecue sauce they use is mostly sugar. Combine that with the onions and you can't taste anything else. Good thing too, because the bun is worse than cardboard and the meat, well, it's just bad. Story 16. This may be the most Midwestern American food take ever, but heat and spice went overboard when so much of it was added. It overwhelmed the taste of the food itself. Not everything needs hot sauce. I blame those chili contests. I think that's where it started. Story 17. Being able to cook and make good food takes little to no skill to actually do. If you can't cook for yourself, it's not because you don't have the tact. It's because you're lazy. Story 18. Gordon Ramsay's scrambled eggs are an abomination. I know he is the celebrity chef, so I am automatically wrong, but no, doing the exact opposite of his advice is far better. Low and slow? No, sir. Hot and fast. Drop the butter in and it should be smoking and browning. In go the scrambled eggs, already salted. Keep them moving and they will be cooked in about 20 seconds. Get them out of the pan before they scorch. They have flavor and they have tooth. Unlike his slow-curdled eggs. Story 19. Some onions are just superior in every way, and the idea that some onions have specific uses where they are more suited than superior onions is propaganda by Big Onion to sell their inferior onions. Story 20. Food respecters are not appreciated. It's okay if you want to put something other than salt, pepper, butter, thyme, rosemary, and oil on your steak. It's okay if you want your steak medium rare. It's okay if you don't go crazy for lamb. I don't care what the ingredients are. Just eat them. It does not matter, and anyone saying otherwise is thinking about rules instead of flavor. Rules may often even lead to optimal flavor, but something less optimal is probably fine and not worth complaining about. Story 21. Pineapple on pizza is delicious. It's the ham that's the problem. Ham is too plain to put on a pizza. It is never good, especially the big thin slices of it. Even on a meat lovers, it's just this other flavor that stands out and doesn't complement any of the other meats. Pineapple with pepperoni is delicious. Pineapple and bacon is delicious. Pineapple and jalapeno is delicious. I've even tried pineapple, onion, and black olive together to really test my hypothesis. And while it's not great, it's not bad at all. Ham does not belong on pizza. Story 22. I think steak is overrated. And before you say, I just haven't had good steak, that's false. I've had $120 steak at 5-star restaurants. Had multiple friends tell me I just gotta try this place or that place. And still it's overrated. Now, by no means am I saying steak is bad. I like it. I'm just saying it's overrated. Story 23. Chicken wings are overrated. I'll absolutely die on this hill. Back when people were sensible, nobody liked the chicken wings because they have a lot of bones and not much meat, and today they still don't have a lot of meat. Back in the day, people preferred the thigh or breast because there's more meat. The only reason people eat the wings today is that they are slathered in sauce. Story 24. Bacon is overrated. By itself, great. Give it to me with my eggs. Bacon burgers are so lame. It doesn't enhance the burger, just makes for one more thing to fall off. Story 25. I won't order a restaurant hamburger. It's too tall, the meat is too dense, and by the time you've figured out how to combine it and maybe break your jaw to get the first bite, the bun self-destructs from sitting in juice for a while. Then you're using a knife and fork on a plate of burger slop. Also, getting served a burger or sandwich open-faced for me to combine irrationally pisses me off. Isn't it ready to eat, not a meal kit? Story 26. English food is actually good. I can't think of a single person around me who would turn away the grand feasts depicted in Harry Potter or The Hobbit. For some reason, everyone seems to think English food must be bad. but they just don't seem to make the connection at all. Also, people become weird cultural Puritans when it comes to food, and it's really annoying. For instance, the implication that there's no good American food is dumb. Oh, burgers come from Germany, actually. Then why didn't they put the meat on a bun with some cheese and tomato in Germany? All cultures take stuff from those around them and figure it out in their own culture. It is the cultural environment and the ingenuity of their people that make the food. Don't take that away from them. Think I'm wrong? Show an Italian Olive Garden, I guarantee they'll be dismayed. But I don't know a single red-blooded, true American who's not tearing into those bottomless breadsticks at least once in their life, goddammit. Story 27. Food isn't a cult. There's no right way to eat any food. No one owns any dish or recipe, and eating food doesn't need to be wrapped in rituals and traditions. Keep your opinions to yourself and let people eat whatever and however they want in peace. Story 28. Warm sweets are disappointing. Restaurants will heat my pie, cookies, and brownies if I don't stop them. Heat reduces about 30% of the enjoyment of eating dessert. Breakfast is the worst meal of the day. It's all about grease and carbohydrates. It usually feels like paste. Creamy peanut butter is better than crunchy. Story 29. Fine dining is one of the dumbest things to waste money on. If I am paying $70 or more for an entree, that plate better be overflowing with food. If you bring out a little saucer with a cube of freeze-dried grass fart or whatever in the middle and some poots of a sauce with more than one adjective in its name, I am going to fight you. Story 30. I will eat and use ketchup. However, it is a garbage condiment. If you use it, then you're using it to mask mediocre food almost always, with few exceptions. Sometimes you want a cheap burger and fries. Ketchup is fine for that. But if you put that on something good, it dominates the flavor and kills all of the good in it. Story 31. Blue cheese is disgusting, though I respect that others love it. Lobster mac and cheese is pointless. The two items add nothing to each other. Cast iron pans are overrated. Using steel to rub garlic scent off your hands is inferior to simply wearing gloves. Most charcuterie and grazing tables are usually lazy. Also, the phrase grazing table is silly. Sando and sandwich are silly words for sandwich. There is a glut of overpriced, mediocre Italian-American and new American restaurants. The trend of hacking cooking through science is annoying and will never achieve true culinary excellence. American cheese, even Kraft, is perfectly fine. Many chefs have backed this up. If you're some home cook who just hates it, then you're just a dilettante. Chef Laurent Tourondel on Anthony Bourdain's No Reservations. The cheeseburger cannot be made with any other cheese than American cheese. It has to be the American cheese. Chef Wiley Dufresne. I would fold a slice of American cheese in half and spoon in a smear of steak tartare. I like all cheese, but my guiltiest pleasure is definitely American cheese. Chef Ralph Fiennes of The Menu. American cheese is the best cheese for a cheeseburger because it melts without splitting. Texas barbecue is overrated. Most countries outside the US make poor burgers, primarily because of their beef quality. A burger is only ground meat. A whole piece of fried chicken between two buns is a chicken sandwich, not a chicken burger. Brown butter is a fad. Basting your steak with butter adds minimal value. Hexclad is a scam. Ketchup is a wonderful condiment on hot dogs. Dogs like Chicago dogs are delicious but strictly niche and regional. They do not dictate all hot doggery. People who are snobby about food and won't deign to eat processed, fast casual, or low-class food lack culinary breadth and depth. It's just called a Cuban sandwich or Cuban. While Cubano is grammatically correct, only hipsters and tryhards call it that. Yes, I'm sure you can find a menu in Tampa with a Cubano, but I guarantee you they're catering to the social rise of that name. It's like calling San Francisco Frisco. Prime rib is supposed to be super pink. I don't know why every prime rib post has people saying, "It's still mooing." Do you all not know what rare rib is? Spatchcocking is overrated, and the bird looks bad. It's possible to make a traditional roast chicken whole that comes out juicy and tender, looking like the kind you pick up off the ground in a video game to gain health. Brining chicken adds tenderness but results in an unwelcome texture. Story 32. New York City pizza slices are just okay. Some are better than others, but the main advantage is they are available everywhere. In 2024, every major city has a good enough clone. Story 33. Chicken is mediocre at best. Think of your favorite chicken dish. How long did it take you to list the flavor of the chicken and why you like the dish? With many other proteins such as pork, beef, fish, wild game, and turkey, it is one of the first things noted. The flavor is the meat. Story 34. I agree. Ever since I moved to San Diego, I've been complaining about the flavors of food. I'm Southern, so my take is that Tex-Mex is far better than California Mexican, and it doesn't come close. We like flavor in the South, and Southern California seems to me like they prefer sauces, which is cool. I just think we cook better in the South. Far less healthy, but better. Story 35. America invented pizza, as the world knows it, not Italians. Tomatoes aren't even native to Italy, and lots of people put meat and cheese on top of a flatbread. It's not exactly rocket science. What everyone knows and experiences as pizza was invented by Italian immigrants in America. Story 36. 1. Ketchup is way overrated, and ranch is more versatile and the rightful king of condiments. Macaroni and cheese needs to become the face of Thanksgiving. Turkey is mediocre. Story 37. Growing up and even now, our family eats so much rice that I considered it a main course. Any protein was considered a side. And if the rice was mixed with other foods like sausage or chicken, because of the structure of Spanish language, rice, arroz, is the first word mentioned in the name of the dish, arroz con salchicha, arroz con pollo. So I found it confusing when I learned to read and I didn't see rice on the menu as a main course. It's considered a side. In my head, I know I'm going to eat rice with some protein like steak or chicken or fish, but I have to reverse it in my mind before I order it. Even when cooking at home for myself, I make rice first, then cook something to go with it. When timed out correctly, they'll be ready to serve at the same time. One of my favorite quotes: rice is great if you're hungry and want to eat 2,000 of something. Mitch Hedberg. I'm eating thousands of grains of rice and only one chicken breast. Therefore, I'm eating rice and chicken and not chicken and rice. I'll happily die on this hill.